Hey guys, Leanne Holitza at the Healing Studio. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, because I would like to make sure that we are live before we get going. I am Leanne Holitza. I am an energy healer, work out of the Healing Studio in Broomfield, Colorado. And this is something I do every week, just kind of as a gift to you guys to say, here's what the week looks like. I'm going to use the Yantra deck, which I always use for initial reading. And then I am going to use the secret language of light. So just let me know you can hear me. And I will get going. You type me, please, in the comments. And we can get going. For some reason, the comments just went. We see you and hear you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Well, then I will get going. All right, you guys. Here's what the energy of the week brings. I am using, by the way, some help from Amanda Ellis's Kali Ma Warrior Goddess energy, and our apophyllite friend is being used today. So, all right. Let's get going. This week, you guys, I do have a guides group on Friday. If you want, it's very interesting because the guides, I read like a group like you would if you saw a medium who was talking to the other side, except for I read for your guides. And it's kind of interesting to hear what other people say, and they kind of bring up other people's stuff like, oh, my person's going through that too. It's a little different than a channeling event because I'm just talking to the guides and translating for you. But there are some spots left if you want to come talk to the guides this Friday. It also is a virtual. You can do virtual as well as in person. But there's only 8 spots because that's how I get to all of you. All right. Okay, let's see what the week brings. All right, so enthusiasm sideways. First, this is saying we're feeling a little uninspired. We might have to do things to inspire ourselves. A little bit of procrastination energy present. Just a little bit of feeling like, okay, what's going to come next? This is the helper card. So communication upside down. This is basically like listen, don't talk. Ask lots of questions. Don't make assumptions. Give yourself a chance to understand that there might be some miscommunications in the air this week, and don't react necessarily. Okay. And lastly, end of the week, vision is upside down. So this basically is saying that this is not the week to do anything but see what comes. Okay. So give yourself an opportunity to be the witness of the occurrences rather than the one being the visioner. Okay. So this week, pause, look into what is happening around you, ask lots of questions, don't make assumptions, and let things change. All right. Here's your first card. If you're watching later, thanks for watching later. If you're watching live, this is your first card. You're going to tune into a 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3. Secret Language of Lights card. Okay. All right. If you picked 1, you're working on creating some space. Okay. That's also about creating space inside yourself. So time with yourself, time to give yourself a little bit of room to see where you may have been holding energy too tightly. Okay. If you picked 2, you're going to be working on soul writing. Okay. So that basically is letting you know that you are putting yourself in a place where you can channel some energy through your writing, your journaling. Okay. So using your pen and paper this week. If you picked 3, you are working with the soul journey. Okay. So this is like remembering that you're on a path, that this is all planned. Well, some of it's free will, but a lot of the things that are on your path, you put there yourself to have experiences. So just be aware of that this week. Okay. All right, let's get started with the me pleases. So I'm going to call out the bottom of the list just so you guys know I can I'm coming to you, and I will get to you because I always do. But Carly, I see you there, and Amber, you're just coming on. Let's see, Eat 100 Foods. By the way, just a side note, Eat 100 Foods did amazing charcuterie board. I'm probably saying it wrong, for my in-laws for a party. They were very happy with it, so it's great. Need something like that. All right, let's start at the top. Stephanie with a pink flower. Stephanie R. You are working on remembrance. Okay, this is basically a comeback to yourself. I am a very wise soul. I may have done some things to forget myself, numb myself, and then this is where I come back and I remember. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm a divine being that wants to be expansive and kind and love. So this week you're going to be remembering that. Okay, Miranda Z. You're working with manifestations. Okay. So this week, I was seeing a lot of like, just let things come to fruition. Don't necessarily create them. But this is where you're going to go into phase 2 of manifestations. Okay. Phase 1 is I vision in, I see it. It becomes real inside me. Phase 2, it comes out of me and through me into the world. So that's which phase you're in, is phase 2 this week. Okay. Let yourself manifest into reality some of the things you've been thinking about doing. National Geographic. This week, you're going to be working also with manifestation. Now, you guys, if we start seeing these cards 3 times, this card is for all of us. That's why you want to stay till the end to listen anyways, because all of the messages kind of culminate. Manifestation. Work through what is it that you want to take action on this week? What have you been dreaming of that it's time to now manifest? Okay. So give yourself some witness to that. Jenny B, you are working on transformation. Okay. So this is a big week for you of coming into an awareness of the big picture and letting things kind of change into a place where maybe you haven't let it yet, if that makes sense. Okay. Diane, you're working with your inner voice, aren't we all? Right. But this card is basically saying this is a good week to be dialing into your tone of voice internally, to what your inner voice is saying, what your mantras kind of tend to be this week, really giving yourself that awareness of the internal tone drives how you interact with the outside world. Burnout proof leaders. You are going to be working on grounding. All right. So you can see this part of the light is to anchor the light in from way above into the earth. Okay. So working with that little, like literally come up into that higher self, draw it down in and pull it into the earth, and be the one who's actually anchoring in that grounded energy and your own essence that is truly just yours. Okay. Melissa and Shannon. Melissa, you're working with transformation. Zoom out, big picture. What's changing? Something big is changing. It's about time for you to have your big zoom out. What do I really want next? Not just reactive, but actually creating. Now, remember, this week is not necessarily a big creative week. So this week might just be the week where you just see what's happening, not do anything to change anything. Shannon, you're working with expansion. So this week you maybe realize, have some time for epiphanies of I'm bigger than I think I am. There's more things connected than I know, not always in a bad way, not always in a conspiracy theory way, but sometimes in a positive, this is working out for me kind of way. Okay. Kimberly S., you're going to be focusing on creating space. If you picked one at the beginning, we're doubling down. Second time we've seen this card. This is not just about space in your spaciousness in your physical outer world, but also internally. Where have you been compressed? And where is it time to bring some life into those spaces? Okay. Heidi M., you're also in remembrance. Second time we've seen this. Might be coming for all of us. Okay. So get that is basically where you're coming back to yourself. Okay. So who am I really? Why am I even here? What's my purpose? How can I get tuned back into that and not let the world have eaten me up and spit me out? Okay. Janice, you're healing this week. Okay. Now, healing sometimes requires just pausing, right? Like if you think of it, getting a bad cold, you want to rest. You want to kind of nurture and nourish. This is a time for you to kind of embrace, wow, what was all that? And how can I give myself space to kind of integrate my own resilience. Okay, seriously wonderful. And Lori, Courtney, you were working on inward revolution. All right. So go in and see what's changing. Go in and let yourself experience a new expansiveness, a new awareness of what is going on for you this week. Okay. Write it down though. You guys just said, write it down, because you might forget that you've gone through this later. Lori, you're having an awakening. Okay. Time to wake up. The alarm bells are going off. Your spirit's calling you to notice something new. Okay, so really be eyes wide open. Spend some time just noticing the signs and symbols, whether they're repeating numbers on the clock or there are birds in the sky that just keep coming. Just kind of be aware of that. Okay, and just take it in. Take in whatever the sign is. Okay, all right. Let's see. Here we go to Christy, Kira, and Finn. Christy. Grounding, similar to burnout proof leaders, you are working on drawing the energy from way above your head. See this card? It's pulling from way above and it's anchoring and grounding all the way into the earth. Okay. So maybe spend some time doing practices like that. You might even try like yoga poses, tree or, those things where you're going to give yourself an anchoring. Kira, you've got the divine feminine energy this week. Okay. So really recognizing what that is. The divine feminine, you guys, is a beer. It's not a doer. Okay. So the divine feminine is also, though, think of protective, think of the womb protecting the baby. This is like very protective and very nourishing and holding space, not forcing anything before it's time to come to fruition. Okay. Finn, you are working on an inward revolution. So big things are changing inside of you. You're starting to learn something new about yourself. Just kind of pay attention, but also notice, am I becoming what I want to become? Or am I becoming what I think I'm supposed to? And how can I stay in alignment with my changes so that it's still me, if that makes sense? Okay. Hannah H. Authentic truth. Not just the truth, the real truth. Who are you really? How can you really be in authenticity? Surround yourself with authentic people as well. That's very important right now. Be around the people who are also willing to tell the truth, hold the truth, see the truth, discuss the truth, all of that stuff. Okay. Denise S., you are working on There Is Only Light. Okay. So this is kind of like nothing's gone wrong. This is kind of reminding you that the only reason that there's a shadow cast because there's light. The only reason that there is love present is because there's light, and that's all there is light. So really being in touch with just light, even when things feel dark. Okay. Janelle and Donnie. Janelle, you're working on healing too. You and your sister can do this together, whatever that is, whatever needs to be healed this week. Kind of maybe reach out to each other and be there for each other about whatever needs to be, kind of deeply healed and integrated. Donnie, you're working with alignment. Okay. So this is really truly about getting into a place where you recognize, okay, I've been off kilter or fighting against my own fears and struggles, and I don't want to do that anymore. I would like to work with what I want to create, if that makes sense. Kara and Tatiana. Kara, third time's the charm, you guys. Grounding. This means I'm going to read a little bit of the book, okay? Because it's always good to get a little extra nut message. Okay, so here's the journal work that's in this book. Ready? For 3 days, draw and write about all the ways you feel grounded and connected to your body and the natural world. Okay, bring in the light, ground in, really reach high. Tatiana, there's only light. Okay, so when there feels like there's darkness or difficulty, it's just part of it. It's just the contrasts that are coming into our life. So recognizing when there is dark things to look at, there's also light things to look at. I think of this as like find the helpers, right? That quote. Sam, prayer hands. Oh, third time's a charm. There's only light, you guys. So here's the message. They're doubling down because they brought it twice in a row. Okay. So I'm going to bring it up and bring up the book. Here's the journal prompt. Ready? Draw and write a story you often tell and that makes you feel sad, bad, or mad. Then ask yourself, who would you be without that story? Draw and write a new story that makes you feel glad, great, and at peace. Okay, we've all had those like crunchy things where we're like, something negative has happened in our life, and we're like, why is this happening? And then afterwards, you're kind of like, oh, I know why that happened. I know that this is what made me who I am, right? Robin, Austin, and Chris. Robin, going to work on channeling this week. Okay. So sit down and automatically write stuff down. So ask a question, answer yourself. That there's going to be a lot of information available. Maybe you're channeling a new book, by the way, a new idea, something fun that is wanting to come through you. Okay. Austin, third time's a charm for manifestation. So we're all doing this to this week. Okay. So bringing up the journal prompt, it says, writing a list of desired things does not bring them to you. This is just a way to start focusing on what is wanted rather than what you think is missing or undesirable. Remember the first stage of manifestation. I think I want it, okay? Draw or write about 7 things you want in your life. Write the present tense write in present tense as if you already have whatever you want. Don't think about how they'll come or what you might need to do to bring them into your life, as all is will only limit your options. Your desires may be mental, spiritual, financial, social, physical, or concerned with your career or relationship. When something manifests, add a new desire to the list and keep it at 7. Okay. Keep it at 7. All right. Chris, ask your soul. Okay. So you can kind of see the image of this is there's a time where you're going to kind of want to just come to coherence with yourself, bring your energy down, your emotional energy down, and just kind of ask yourself, what does my soul want right now? And why does it want it? Not the material world, not the things you can't take with you, but the things you really want for yourself. Okay. Nicole and Addison. Nicole, you're working with divine animals this week, okay? And you can see this is a lion in here. So this isn't necessarily just your pets or, the squirrel in the tree, but working with like really like meditating on big qualities of animals that feel like spirit animals to you and see what that brings up for you this week, okay? Addison, you're going to be focusing on meditation. Okay. So inner conflict kind of coming to a calmness, bringing when we do meditations, we kind of let ourselves put energy into alignment of, kind of a calmer state, a little bit more of aware state of ourselves. So focus on that. By the way, you guys, just a little side note, I've been building a new membership site where I will have all the meditations I've created and then new ones, some of the Light Council channeling, some classes I've taught, all just kind of available in one like library or database. I'm launching that in July. So working on it right now. All right, Tiff. Third time's a charm for the healing. We're all doing it this week, I guess. Okay, so Tiff, work on what it needs to be integrated and healed. Okay, so here we go. Write down or draw anything you need to forgive yourself for, then add how your life would change if you did forgive yourself. Do the healing so you can live your life and fulfill your purpose. It's time to set yourself free so you can move forward and inspire others to be free. Okay, so it's okay to be already healed. We probably all of you on here are doing some healing in some way, right? All right, Tanya, you're working with divine animals too. So I'm really seeing with this card this week for you guys, it's about really working with meditating on big animals, like big divine animals on the planet, and then kind of seeing what wisdom, just even like asking as if you could have a conversation with a whale or whatever, and just write it down and take some notes. Okay, Lisa, wellness is coming for you. Woohoo. That's a good one, right? So just this week, let yourself acknowledge where you are well, especially if you've been feeling like you're not. Really go focusing on what does wellness mean to me? And it's different every single day, right? King of the Forest VR, you're working with channeling. Okay, so thoughts, ideas, things that want to live through you, go ahead and give yourself the time to literally pull it through and let it become something that you anchor in and bring to life through you. Okay, Kalina, Nothing's gone wrong. Okay, so that's the same thing as like the light. So it's just basically like this is all yin and yang, good, bad, contrast. Everything's all part of it, right? It's all just part of what the spectrum is. Joe L. Ooh, you got two, and one of them is literally just flying out of the deck here. Transformation, third time's a charm for that card. So that's for all of us, you guys. But Joe's got transformation with soul song. Sing, chant, do the music, all the things. All right, transformation, everybody, journal work. You can't change anything by fighting with what has already been created. To bring about change, create a new way that supersedes the old way. Draw out something that makes you suffer every time you think about it. Now write down 5 reasons why it makes you suffer and 5 ways it has motivated you to create something different. Next time you feel yourself react as suffering, focus on the something different. You have written it down. Write it down. Something different. Okay, let things change. Zoom out. Kimberly and Juan Carlos. Kimberly P. Let go. Let go. See the sword? Literally cutting all of the cords. Let yourself use your awareness of your energy and give yourself a chance to reset. Okay? Juan Carlos, you're working on channeling. Third time's a charm on this one, you guys. So let's see what it's telling us all. Write down and draw unconditional love and what unconditional love and eternal mean to you. Write down or draw your stream of consciousness, what your stream of consciousness feels like. A little time with ourselves to forgive and stream some consciousness. Sounds good, right? Aaron T. That's a Pisces. Okay, to me, this card really represents single relationships that create expansion. Okay, so I like to say self, other, both are getting their needs met, and together they are something they couldn't be apart. Okay, so like archetype mother, father, child. You're working on that energy right now. Who are you creating with? Who's your co creators? If you don't have them, call them to yourself. Spend some time thinking about it. Okay, Andrea H. You're on a soul journey. If you picked 3 at the beginning, it's doubling down for you. It's basically saying, this is part of the plan. This is part of it. And just kind of accepting, it's difficult because, we lose friends along the way, not always in the ways we want to. Or, like it's hard to lose friends anyways, but just your guides are just talking about just sometimes people just need to be walked away from or let go. It's part of the journey. Okay. Cynthia, third time's a charm for remembrance. You guys were getting lots of messages today. That hasn't been happening. We've been getting very singular messages lately. Okay, so remember who you are. Ready? Create a section in your journal called 1111. When you experience 1111, do the above meditation. Then write the date in your 1111 section. Under this, draw and write about what your 1111 experience feels like and messages you receive. Every 1111 encounter will be different depending on your situation and the energy of beliefs and ideas you have activated in your awareness running in the background. Okay, so to me, this is just remember 1111 is the gateway back to self. Okay, so just come back to yourself, really notice the signs. All right, Eli, visualize this week. So even though they kind of were telling us not to focus on our vision, it would be a good week for you to just kind of imagine an expansive self, all things resolved. What would that look like? Spend time really focusing on that. Give yourself a chance to just see things differently, right? Maybe even imagine just beautiful nature scenes, that kind of thing. Terry and Colin. Terry, you are the universe. It's time to be yourself, time to be bigger than you ever were before, time to see how this all is connected, okay? And Colin, you're on a soul journey. Third time's a charm, you guys. So we're all on a soul journey, which is of course true, but let's see. I'm doing the journal pumps today. I don't know why. Maybe we're all supposed to be doing journal work. Draw and write about 3 ways or circumstances where you easily relax. Remember the way you feel so you can recall the sensation anytime you feel stress. Okay, so you're on a journey. It's a journey that's been laid out for you. Some of it's fun, some of it's not, right? Eat 100 foods. You're working with variance. Okay, so this means that all the differences, even if they're differences that feel like they're conflict or that you can't believe they're happening around you, they're telling you something. The cool thing about this separation experiment, you guys, is that we have all of this energy around being able to see how different consciousnesses can play out by watching other people, even if they're doing what we would never do. Okay. All right. Carly, I told you I would get here. It just takes me a minute. Carly, Cole, and Schaefer. Carly, you're the universe. Okay. So, really, just to know that you're the one creating all of this. You're from behind your eyes. You're the only one in there seeing what you see. And it's okay to recognize that. Okay. Cole, your focus for the week is an awakening. All right. So, what have you been kind of numb to, ignoring, not paying attention to? Just kind of spend some time noticing and waking up. Okay. Schaefer, you're working on getting into alignment. Okay. So, this is basically into alignment with your authentic self. Okay. Authentic. Who am I really? Amber, A. Your focus this week is soulcraft. What are you here to do? What does your soul want you to do for work? Maybe what does your soul want to do as a volunteer? What does your soul just kind of like feel so filled up with when it does what it does? Do that this week, okay? And if you don't know yet what that is, go explore and see if you can unlock it and get inspired. Kelly and Matthew. Kelly, you're working with the soul tree. Okay, we did get grounding. You can kind of see this, but the tree stands in one spot. Just like you behind your eyes, you are the one behind that one spot inside of you. This tree sees the perspectives change and things change over time. And it's just about kind of knowing that and letting that wisdom integrate. Matthew, you're going to work with transformation. Fourth time we've seen this card, you guys. So I'm going to pull up yet another little thing. Let zoom out is basically the message of that. It's like, let's see the big picture. Okay. So it says you are experiencing an ending. You are feeling a loss as a hole or a void in your life. The empty feeling is space for something new and better. Its new way will reveal itself very soon. Okay. So just zoom out. All right. If you're still hanging out with me and you haven't said me please and you would like a card, go ahead and type me please. We have just a couple minutes left. I do want to say that there's some switching up coming on as far as schedule goes in my kind of one-on-one sessions coming up, especially as we work towards that membership thing I told you about. But also just kind of acknowledging that we're all kind of going into new changes, and it's a good time to support those changes. Okay, I'm going to throw a card for my husband, Matt. Work with the light beings this week. All right. So that's just saying basically that the energy of being able to expand to that there's higher unseen helpers waiting to acknowledge your journey and what you've done and what you are doing. Also, just kind of acknowledging that there's a place for you to spend time communing with that energy. Okay. All right. Well, we've done it. We got to all of you guys. Thanks for giving me the we can hear you. I'm going to have to keep doing that for a while because I one day could literally talk to the void the entire time. It didn't go anywhere. Just, I didn't know. I could see you guys putting in comments, but it was literally like, hello. There is a big thing going on that's, just kind of to be aware of the call to continue to be divisive and separate from each other. Just this week, especially, I'm going to pull the cards out and just kind of give you the summary one more time since we have a minute. Just be aware that call to be separate is not necessarily helpful. All right, so let's do this. Ready? We got a soul journey that we're on. Okay, here's the story we're telling. We want to work on channeling some of our true energy. What projects are trying to come alive through us? How can we ground those projects from way up high down into the earth? Remember who we are. Zoom out the big picture. Things are ending, but that means that there's new room for something new. We're going to manifest from our ether to our reality. And there's only light. Nothing dark or bad is really truly happening here. All right. I hope this is inspiring for you guys for the week. I really appreciate you, and I I very much value our time together. If you would like to stay hooked into the schedule, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell button so that you get told when I'm going live. And go be amazing.